mental health, and so on and so forth, culture shock, and even integration of diaspora returnees as well. So, as I said earlier, this policy, rich as it is, again now when it comes to the implementation, that's where we don't score highly. Of course, one can say that diaspora policy itself is a stride. It's a hit, and actually it talks about diaspora diplomacy being one of the 5 pillars of Kenya's foreign policy, so that it gives it a high standing. Then there was created the State Department of Diaspora Affairs with a PS instead of what was being suggested in terms of a full-fledged ministry to take care of diaspora affairs. It is a step, and it's not just a directorate in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But again, when you talk to some people from the diaspora in preparation of this talk, and they say that they don't feel that State Department in terms of being able to really engage them and take care of business. Of course, at the East African level, there is the diaspora engagement policy, where there is even an ESC diaspora desk, and it intends to dialogue, so that the dialogue between the diaspora and the ESC community. When you come to the Foreign Services Act here in Kenya, 2021, it establishes, of course, those consular offices, the embassies, the commissions, the consulates, and there are roughly over 70 and over 30 honorary consuls. And yet, even those numbers, and they say they, offer IDs, passports, birth certificates, police clearances, but it is the person who is abroad who will confirm that these services are regularly and efficiently offered. And again, some of the people that I talked to told me that there is a tendency to go to embassies where the ambassador or high commissioner is friendly. And if people go to some of those places and the people are not friendly, then they desist from engaging. And actually, I got a figure of about 10% of people in the diaspora who go to these offices. Let me talk just a little about the constitution, about the question of citizenship. And of course, if you're a Kenyan citizen, you're a Kenyan citizen forever. Although Miguna, my friend Miguna got a problem when he was told that he had ceased being a Kenyan citizen if he had dual citizenship, and I cannot confirm either way whether he has another citizenship or not. But our constitution allows dual citizenship, Article 16. And even if you are forced to become a citizen of another country and drop Kenyan citizenship, when you decide to resume your citizenship, Kenyan citizenship, there is no problem whatsoever. Any mother and father who is a Kenyan citizen who has a child abroad, the child is automatically a Kenyan citizen, Article 14. Those who are married abroad, married, to a spouse who is not a Kenyan, the law is after 7 years they can apply and they will become a Kenyan citizen. And the constitutional provisions, Article 14, 15, 16, there is the Kenyan Citizenship and the Immigration Act of 2011, which amplifies. And of course, in this aspect of immigration, I'm sure abroad, many people like to regularly consult immigration lawyers, even if one is in a situation of being undocumented, so that they can also regularize their citizenship if that is something that they want to do. Let me talk quite a bit on diaspora voting rights, and I really, will be happy if in your meeting, Professor, former Chief Justice Willie Mutunga also talks, more pointedly on this question because of his having been at the apex of Kenya's judicial system. There was a struggle before the Kenyan electoral body accepted that they had to abide by the Constitution, Article 38, which gives people political rights, and Article, 81, 82, 83, the articles that, particularly 83, which says that the Kenyans who are resident abroad have the right to vote, even though there will be progressive realization. And the position of the electoral authorities in Kenya before the New Vision Kenya, with Kenyan Diaspora Alliance, Shem Ochuodo and Bishana Muraburi case against IBC Ministry of State, the Immigration and Foreign Affairs, the position of the electoral bodies was that they would continue to prepare. They would argue that the logistics are not correct, they are preparing, and it's not an easy task. And then, because the Constitution says progressive realization down the road, this will be achieved. But when the gentleman I have mentioned went to court, and this organization, KBA, went to court, when the matter reached the Supreme Court was able to say that this realization, progressive realization, does not mean that the electoral body will take forever to ensure their logistics for it. And therefore, that judgment was able to, give direction to the IBC that this body should actually now make real arrangements for the diaspora population to be able to vote. But in the earlier court, Justice Majanja, of course, did say that the right to vote for the diaspora population is not absolute, may be subject to reasonable restriction, Article 24 on limitation of rights and fundamental freedoms, and therefore this is what kind of gave impetus, I would imagine, to the electoral body in 2013-2017 to make sure that about 3,000 people were registered and could vote. And we are talking about a population of 4 million, and even if we say half of those could vote, 2 million. So it really talks about major injustice. In 2022, later, about 10,444 people also are able to register and to vote. And the earlier point we are making about how governments are very careful, fearful, so that the diaspora doesn't really come to vote and influence the vote and actually give impetus to democracy in Kenya, in the continent, is real because of those figures that we have mentioned. Now, interestingly, later, Okia Omtata Okoiti takes a case against the AG and the electoral body, and there is an interested party